think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. You know, I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who want to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighters beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. How y'all doing out there, man? I would say it's just another manic Monday, but with the state of boxing, what's new? I'm not gonna go into no long, drawn out rant, but salute to Aaron Jones, man. Yes, God, we here. Whip your feet before you enter the Bodywork dungeon. It is a dungeon, man. It get dark and it get ugly, man. But we stay on the up and up, man. I hope everybody that can hear the sound of my voice, man, figuring out ways to fall in love with the sport of boxing, man. Even though since my inception, I've been talking about how it's wild, man, when I look at how far we've gone and how close we've gotten to actually being WWE, WWF. But it's like, man, you are not going to 50 Cent Ja Rule me. You know how many people tried to get me off my square, man, with this bullshit that's going on with boxing? Well, they was really trying to gaslight me. Like I wasn't seeing what my eyes were seeing. Y'all know that David Allen Greer character when he said, "Does thine eyes deceive me?" Like, no, my eyes are not deceiving me, man. Y'all are trying to get closer and closer. But it's so crazy how in real time, and I'm making an observation, y'all. I promise y'all, man. I'm not haughty, I'm not high-minded, I'm not conceited. It's just wow how in real time, either me, AC, AJ, Calico, Melazar, somebody points out these things in real time and people be like, the reaction don't be the reaction that we expect. Like, oh, okay, cool, y'all on to something. It's just like, no, people come out, they do things to be in contrast to what we're saying. There's always gonna be somebody that come out, like, no matter what. Like, you remember, I'm like a year and a half into where they said, if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. I don't even give a fuck about having no haters. I just know that there are always people that come out and do things that are contrasting or the other side of the fence to what we're saying. But in real time, we be wrong. And guess what? Present day, they be right on it. They be saying the same things. Like, think about how long it's been. If you've been following the channel, and if you haven't, you know what I'm saying, just go back and do your research. Don't take my word for it. Just take a couple moments and be like, hey, man, this guy, okay, let me check this guy out. Let me see if he's saying it's true. It's been like 2 years since we've been on the Shakur Stevenson and all the bullshit that he's been. It's been, I don't know how long, man. I stopped doing the pound for pound, but when I came out and I did the top 5 toxic fan bases and why, the things that I used to say and I used to point out about the Haneys, man, like people used to like, man, I swear if I was one of them guys that was outside and everywhere and at every event, man, I probably would have been got my head chopped off, or security would have ran up on me, or I would have got caught up in some crazy stuff because of the things that I was saying in real time. But guess what? Not only me, but your favorite content creators is on it now. So I'm just like, man, it's wild that when we be on shit real time, right, and we be getting gaslit, but you can't gaslight us because we already lit. We be on it, but it just takes for some time to catch up. And I always say, I make it no secret that ever since I was in high school, I've been praying for vision, closing my eyes, putting out positive energy that the universe is going to give me things in real time that's going to help me see. Like the Book of Eli. And I'm like, man, wow, like I be seeing it in real time, and maybe I'm just like it's not a knee-jerk reaction, but maybe I react faster and I'm more prone to just go with my instincts. Maybe I'm more in tune with my instincts than everybody else. But it's wow how we be on some shit, not just me. So don't discredit me. You know what I'm saying? Not just me, but my cohorts, my co-defendants, they be on some shit in real time, and it's like everybody else be like late. So on present day time, like I'm like, man, y'all like a year too late. Y'all like 2.5 years too late. Y'all like 3 months too late. Y'all like 2 weeks too late. And I'm just like, man, all we trying to do is, you know, put out things that's gonna cater to your mindset, help you focus on what's right and exact when it comes down to boxing, so we can just preserve the sport. That's all it really is. It's not about us. It's just about like, listen, man, there's something wrong with all of us. We like to see motherfuckers get beat in their fucking head. We be complaining if somebody don't get knocked the fuck out. Remember when I used to always talk about closers and how I don't like safety first fighters, and like, yeah, I don't just cater to the knockout artists, but you have to be able to render judgment with your own ones and twos, because the way boxing was going, because if you let it go the distance, you can be robbed by 3. But if you was a master at your art, if you were perfecting your craft, it wouldn't come down to that. And now people are saying now, like, some of the same things, some of the same standards, and some of the same boxers that we look at. If a boxer don't get the knockout, like, oh, he didn't knock him out. It's like, but hold on, why is that okay for your mans and them now? My guy's at 93.33%. Y'all said, and I'm eggplant eating. How, Sway? It's just food for thought, man. It's just kind of odd when you look and you listen to what everybody is saying and how everybody just be late, man. I can't help it, man. I'm just gonna say what I see in real time. That's why sometimes when I take a couple of days off, it might seem like I might be a little bit behind, but we also let the beat breathe. But when we come out and we be in real time, we be surgical with this shit, Jake. We be looking at everything, man, and we would like for all these guys to be able to go home to their families. We always say, go and get your money, little duffel bag boy. What you get in your negotiations, that's what you. Hey, if you got somebody in the hook for that, if you sold, like how many times do we see that we're in the housing market? If we would just digress from boxing for a second, in the housing market. Somebody be like, oh, I got a new house, I got this, and they go in there and they got either a slumlord and, you know, so nothing is working right in the house. You got sold. You can't sell us, man. Would they be saying, man, you can't sell us bullshit? We already know the prices. We just be doing it in real time, man. Just everybody else got to catch up. We're not the biggest, broadest, baddest, or whatever, because we're not sensational. We speak the truth, and we learn from Earl Spence and his whole endeavor when he spoke his truth, how people just flat out don't like the truth. That's not gonna stop us. But nevertheless, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into the show, man. I got AJ, I got AC in the building already, man. Salute, fellas, man. How y'all doing?
Man, everything's great, man. You know, in part of what we're talking about, and part of what you was just saying, when you brought up Errol Spence, that's resonating a lot with me right now, because the last time we spoke, I was telling you how I was going to use AI and stuff like that. And come to find out, the project that I've been working on, at its core, it can't be done just because of words. And you figure, yo, words, I mean, I know words have meaning and words have power, but there is not another fucking synonym in the motherfucking world that I can use to substitute this shit, so I don't have to now deal with the Board of Education. No. And you just sit there like, okay, that's an endeavor. I'm not ready to deal with that. That's way out of my privy. I have to now outsource resources to get that greater understanding and be able to now navigate what this government and federal agency is going to require me just to get their approvals. And I'm just like, wow, this is madness. So, in the vein of being solution oriented, is there a solution for what I want to do? Yeah, you've been writing about it. Where? Show me. Right there, nigga. You've been writing about it right there in your description of the website. Oh, shit. So the solution was there. All I had to do was just back up and look at it and just not get fucked up and get pissed off about it. And sometimes, just to bring it full circle, that's my approach with dumb shit in boxing. Yeah, I could get all, and be like the other people and try to stand on the soapbox and act like, everything in boxing and everything in the boxing universe I've been talking about since day one. Knowing the fuck I haven't. Because there are certain things that I just was like, it would be crazy if this is what they trying to do. And then to come to find out that this is what you asking that man to do. And I'm just like, all right, now y'all done really took this shit to the real loving hip hop, real boxing wives of boxing. And I don't even know how to even describe you niggas nowadays, because the fan bases now have the talk shows that come on afterwards and try to break down each episode. Some of it is heating up, some of it is making everything exciting. Yeah, Tank is coming out talking his shit now. Got boxing on fire. That just goes to show you how much boxing missed the real ones, the real dogs. Call Tank Davis right now the Baltimore Bully, because he just coming out smacking niggas. Like, fuck is you talking about? What? You trying to all right, when I see you, I'm going to see you. But I know you ain't trying to talk about this boxing shit with me. Neither is your punk ass man over there. So yeah, that's where I land at, bro. Shit is heating up. I like it. I gotta do my own internal things and figure out my own comeback and how to redesign this shit. But it was already there, so all I have to do is just accept the fact that, okay, you've been writing it about it already, so just expand what you've been writing about and flip it. It's a done deal. Now you ain't got to worry about nothing. Okay, cool. I'm good.
Word. Sometimes the answer be right there in front of you, man. Sometimes you just need a little bit of resistance for you to go harder. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the young man Tank Davis been experiencing. That's what some of us be experiencing. Sometimes it'd be like, it's delayed, not denied, but it's just like, it's almost like, hold on, man, why is it like this for me? And it's just, you got to come to terms to where it's like, it's just like that for you. Like once you realize it's like that for you. Now, I learned this a while ago when I was looking at Lil Wayne and his situation. I'm like, man, I used to be nice with them verbs and them adjectives when it came to putting it down together and making that shit all come together on a beat. And I'm just like, how would a motherfucker like Lil Wayne run into a nigga like Baby and just hit the jackpot? And then I realized that it's just not like that for you, nigga. That's just the reality. Like, for most of us, it's just not like that for you.
Yeah.
So that don't mean you can't get to where you need to get to. It's just not like that for you. Like people are just not gonna fuck with you for you. And when you a real one, people they don't like the truth. So I noticed that a lot of my interactions is almost like holding a mirror up to people. And I don't try to be like that. I just am who I am. So people will put on fronts and act a certain way around me and then they act a certain way around different people. I'm just like, and when I find out about it, I be like, why do you act like that around me? I'm like, what did I do? It's just not like that for you. It just that don't mean that it's no problem. It's just not like that. You're not gonna hit the numbers. Like I be seeing people hitting the lottery for 8,000, 10,000 all around me. Like people all around. I'm like, hold on, I play a little something. I put my little 3 digits, my little. It's just not like that for you.
Yeah,
Keep working, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got more work to do for whatever reason, and whenever you know what I'm saying, you get to the point to where people see you, they're gonna be like, "Damn, how did he do this?" And they're gonna be like, "Damn, it's just not like that for me. It just is
exactly
what it is."
I'm the dude that it's like this. I look at things like this. I'm the dude that's nice as hell, but I gotta be rocked or get a flash knockdown for me to now be like, all right, I'm in the fight.
Yeah.
I accept that. It's like, yeah, I see you getting ready to try to throw your little punches. Whack! Oh, did this nigga really hit me? Like, all right, Duke, now I'm gonna fuck you up. No. You don't fuck with me like that. And that's how it seems to be with things that happen with me. Like after every major whatever, I didn't see it clearly, and then it's like bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like that. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying? For certain people.
And that's the part that I was just sitting there like after I was doing everything, I'm like, something ain't right. Something gotta hit me. Something gotta hit. And then I'm just doing all of this research and then looking for these words, and every time I'm reading down, I keep seeing this one paragraph, and I'm like, all right. Let me just Google a synonym for this fucking word right here. And then I tried every one of those joints, and it all came back to tell me the same thing. I gotta deal with the Board of Education or the commissioner of the Board of Education. And I'm just like, nope, that's not gonna work. It's not going to work, because then you're going to require me to do all of this other kind of nope. That's what I wanted to do is cool, it's ambitious, but there's still a way to do it, but just not in the way I was originally thinking. Right. And that's all you have to do is, fighters go through the same thing. It's like, follow the game plan. All right, I got caught, but he on to that right now. He on to the fact that I'm trying to get him to move to the right, and he keep moving to the left, and he catching me. So what do I do, coach? All right, now what I need you to do is and that's where I'm at right now. I'm talking to my coach, and we coming up with a different game plan. Not to say I'm going to lose the fight. I'm still winning the fight, but I just got to change up the game plan because somebody see what I'm doing, and it's just not going to work.
Right. And I said that in so many words, man. We'll talk on offline about it, but I said that in so many words because of what you're trying to do. It's just like, when they say people, some fighters are more creative with their offense. You gotta get just a little bit more creative with the offense. You know what I'm saying? It's not delayed. It's delayed but not denied, but you just gotta get a little bit more creative with the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like us all, like some of us, it's just not gonna go through. Like some things I go through like a hot knife through butter, and sometimes I just gotta get more creative with my offense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do gotta tighten up on my defense, but I just gotta get more creative with my offense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But salute AJ, man. How you doing, bro? What's up with you, AJ?
You still on mute, bro, if you talking.
Yeah, I don't know. We got a little delay. We might have a little delay with AJ. I don't know. But I'll pull this up and we'll get into it. Let's get into the housekeeping, man. Cause I don't know. This might be a short episode. I don't know how long. Every time I say every time I be thinking I'm gonna have a little short episode, it'd be one of the more longer ones. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just go ahead and get into the housekeeping. And AJ, whenever he ready, he can come in and introduce himself. But housekeeping, number one, Itama versus Herkovich, 829. And I like that. Why? Because Itama is a hopeful. I'm not a selfish guy. I'm not just gonna center myself around the American heavyweight. Why? Because the American heavyweight, let's be honest, man, it's dead right now. I mean, it had a resurgence. We had a couple guys. Wilder did his thing when he was reigning. I don't know if the heavyweight, it's not discrediting Wilder. It just is what it is. If you show up to the DMV and you go through like a hot knife through butter, it's no knock on you that you went through in the DMV and you got your number and you was in there, and half an hour in you was in there. You got whatever you got and come out. But that's not everybody's story. More for the most part, when you go to the DMV, you're gonna go in there. You're gonna have to deal with somebody with an attitude. You're gonna have to deal with somebody to give you some wrong information. You might have to make a phone call or two and then come back, and then finally in an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you done got done what you needed done. It's not a knock on the person. It's like we're not hating on a person that had it easy, but that's how the heavyweight division has been for the U.S. American heavyweight. We have not had a lot of people stepping up. It hasn't been that way for a while now. But the heavyweight division has a resurgence, and the resurgence was pretty much pioneered by those guys over there across the pond. I'm just a realist. Like the heavyweight division, is held in the palms of those guys across the pond. And Thomas getting ready to fight Herkovich. What we know about Herkovich? Herkovich, he gave Daniel Dubois a couple fights ago, like 3-4 fights ago. He gave Daniel Dubois, more than what he wanted for like the first, I don't know how many rounds, maybe 6 rounds. And Dubois winding up figuring him out and busting him up, breaking him down, stopping him. And I think that at this level, I think that that's a good test for Itama. Why? Because Herkovich got heavy hands. Now, Itama, he looks more surgical. He's the young hopeful. There might be a little bit of hyperbole on him. If people might be putting a little bit extra sauce on him. But what do you expect when the guy is young and sharp and he looking the way he looking? You know what I'm saying? He made this one nigga do the Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 fights ago. My lady was laughing. Like every time she see that shot, she just busts out laughing. I'm just like, hey, that's when you got them hands. When you can make a nigga do that, you know what I'm saying, with your hands, make a nigga look like he got a cape on. You like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not until you get with somebody that might got a little bit more savvy, might be more creative with his offense, more responsible in defense, put you through the ringer. But we have not seen him have a test, and that might be a test for him. So I'm all for it, mainly because of number 2. Usyk openly ducks the second young hungry lion. What you talking about, Mike? If you listen, I'm going to tell you, right? Listen, regardless of what y'all want to say about the outcome about Dubois and Fabio Wardley, you know what I'm saying? Fabio Wardley still my guy, just like Brian Norman, still my guy. I don't give a fuck. I de-gab. You know what I'm saying? But Usyk was like, nah, he didn't want to fight Fabio Wardley. He said that if Joseph Parker would have won, he would have fought him, but he wasn't going to fight Fabio Wardley. I'm like, hold on. But Fabio Wardley stopped Joseph Parker. So you just going to openly duck and everybody just going to let the great white hype just walk away with this shit? Well, he's at it again. So not only did he go pick a kickboxer and get his shit pushed in, on some training day shit. You ever had your shit pushed in? Well, yeah. I could say, man, it wasn't all brutal and all that, but like Usyk just got his shit pushed in by a kickboxer. And then when the rules came out, Rico did a review, and they said, yeah, it was stopped right after the bell. After the bell run, the fight was stopped, and that was not legitimate. However, the outcome would not be changed. I'm like, man, they just gonna shit on us, man. Y'all just gonna piss on our head and tell us straining. Like, that's not according to the rules. If the fight was stopped after the close of the bell, the fuck are we talking about? The man needed y'all need to either change the outcome of the score to a no contest, or y'all need to give this man a rematch, or something gotta happen. Like, be creative with your offense, like I was just talking about. They didn't do that. So we move forward. Rico just want to get another shot or whatever. I don't know if I want to see it. Maybe because Usyk might be more prepared for the dude. He might have got Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. I'm not sure. I'm not making excuses because I called this nigga the Great White Hype. He got stopped by Dubois. I don't give a fuck about Usyk. If you don't like it, go, you know what I'm saying? Bye. Catch me in the next live. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to talk about the truth. And so here it is to where this man just dismissed fucking Moses and Tama. Once again, the next young hungry lion. And this is what he said. No, I'm not going to fight with Tama because he's a young guy. I don't want to break this guy. Usyk said to Inside Ring Show. How do we let people get away with that? If Tank did it with the young hungry lion, if Tank was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna fight Schofield. He's just young." Like I didn't accept it when Shakur just came out and be like, "Nah, you know, right now Abdullah Mason is too green." But guess what? He want to fight Morataya after Morataya beat Andy Cruz. But neither Keyshawn, his excuse was, "Oh, he's too green," and what they gonna say, I'm not gonna get no credit for this fight, even though this nigga whooped your ass in the amateurs. In the Olympics, he got gold. It made you play silver. And everybody gave him an excuse. We didn't accept it from Keyshawn with Andy Cruz. I'm not accepting it with the shit that Shakur just said about Abdullah Mason, how he's too green. Well, he's getting ready to fight a guy that you was getting ready to fight off of a knockout loss. And nobody says nothing. Usyk is the Great White Hype, bro. We let you get away with the kickboxer shit. We let you get away with saying, "Nah, I ain't gonna fight Fabio Wardley. Yeah, I will fight Joseph Parker." Joseph Parker even popped hot for the cocaine. Ain't nobody said a thing. And here we go again where he ain't gotta fight Utama and nobody's saying nothing. Go figure, man. I ain't gonna keep kicking your shit in, Usyk, but you are a Great White Hype. Don't ever try to compare your name to some of the greats, because people be trying to put them up above Holyfield, up above Lennox Lewis, up above Mike Tyson. Knock it off. I wish I would fix my lips to try to put this Great White Hype over somebody like that. And it's like if he pussy, if Utama ain't nothing, if he just a young whatever, knock him off, ruin him. That didn't stop like when Julius J. Rock Williams kept calling out when he kept calling out Jamal, and Jamal was like, "Look, man, I got bigger fish to fry. I'm getting ready to move up or whatever." And Jamal stayed there and then sparked his ass. That didn't stop nothing from Lubin. When Jamel Charlo was like, "Hey, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't ready. He ain't on my level." And everybody was hyping up Jamel, and he sparked his ass. Neither one of them niggas been the same since. That could be you, Usyk. But I'm like, man, you can't be heralded as one of them ones and you take it up. First of all, I don't put, when I was doing the 10-man list, I wasn't putting heavyweights on my fucking list anyway. I was saying heavyweights deserve their own class, so it should be a 10 plus one. Like a 10 plus whoever you think got, ruling the heavyweight division. Because putting the heavyweight division on there, all it does is take away from a name. That's the reason why a nigga like Tank Davis, his name ain't on nobody's pound for pound list, and y'all know y'all be bullshit. Y'all know y'all be bullshit with all the shit. If Navarrete on there, y'all put Collazo on there. Like y'all, every week it's a new nigga that's getting on there. But Tank ain't on there. But they'll put a heavyweight on there to take away from a spot that somebody that's for real could really be on it. Some people at one point in time, they had Stephen Fortune on there. Nigga was never on my pound for pound list. I had Teofimo Lopez on there at one point in time, and people was arguing with me But then when Shakur beat him, then all of a sudden he became number 3. I'm like, but most of y'all niggas didn't even have Teofimo Lopez on your pound for pound list. So if you got Usyk on your pound for pound list, this nigga just ducked Fabio Wardley. He just ducked Moses Atama, and he just fought a kickboxer. And y'all ain't saying nothing. He's a great white hype. He's a great white hype. You click the link and you can argue with me. I'll kick your ball all over the fucking fence if you want to argue about it. But fuck that nigga, man. He is not good for boxing. Period. The third one, Gary Antoine Russell's Catch-22. I just did an episode in the beginning of the Tank when I was like Tank out here checking temperatures. I did an episode where I talked about how I clarified what was going on with Gary Antoine Russell and then all this shit about Shakur, because it's funny how Shakur don't get no fucking criticism for being at a weight class to where he has not called out not one person, not one other person at 140. Knowing that Gary Antoine Russell is the most dangerous and he's the most tenured. Now that Richardson Hitchens has moved out, it was a tie between them as far as being the most tenured. They always thought that between Subriel Matias, and he just got knocked out, and then Gary Antoine Russell, they were the boogeyman, but everybody was saying that Gary Antoine Russell was the most dangerous. Why? He could do it all. He comes from a boxing lineage. He's a pressure fighter. He got power. He got IQ. You know what I'm saying? He can make adjustments. He put paws all on El Rayo, and El Rayo boxed the shit out of Pitbull Cruz. But when Richardson Hitchens won, everybody breathing out, oh, you gotta fight Gary Antoine or you've been ducking Subriel Matias. When Shakur moved up, when he sized a nigga up in TO, when he was bigger than him for more than 2 years. I have the track record. I have the videos to prove it. To where Shakur was saying, I know that I've been bigger. The secret is I've been bigger than him for 2 years. And everybody let him slide on it. Now he just this incy-wincy, hot damage knee pad wearing fan, incy-wincy Moy Pequeno fighter. Nobody's putting no pressure on Shakur to fight Gary Antoine Russell. Well, guess what? I came out and did this episode about how somebody need to speak up for the PBC and all these niggas. And ever since I did that video, ironically, I've been seeing a lot of people come out and vouch for niggas from the PBC. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling myself the little Indian that could. I'm just saying that, hey, silence is consent. If you don't say nothing, then it ain't gonna be nothing. And we've been saying something. So now he gets his time to shine on Brian Custer, one of the most highly respected guys, classy guys. He represents for people that look like my demographic. Does it with nothing but taste. You know, he's been doing it for years. I admire Brian Custer, man. Gary Antoine finally gets his time to shine. He clears up what he was saying about Shakur Stevenson. And I feel like he's at a catch-22. Because what he said was, people want me to drag my nuts all over this and all that, even though he came out and was basically saying, when we seen on the Sean Zattel video, it's on wax. You know, it's on wax on Sean Zattel, and then since I covered it, you know, and did a reaction to it, it's on wax on my channel as well, where he basically said, man, Shakur can't fuck with me. If there is nobody, it's not one Shakur ball-bearing fan that will come out here and tell me or say nothing or contest that. But Gary Antoine said that they want me to come out and drag my nuts on these guys, and he said that shit is beneath me. And one part I was saying, man, he's a valedictorian. He's very smart. He's probably a highly skilled chess player, if I had to take my guess, right? But he was a valedictorian. So he's not just a brute. You know what I'm saying? He's just not muscle. He's mind and muscle. And so I said, you know, I mean, I looked at it a couple ways. I said, yeah, he knows something from sparring. And the fact that Shakur didn't want to see his little brother, I mean, his big little brother, Mr. Gary Russell, because they share the same division. Mr. Gary Russell said, hey, man, don't make me, you know what I'm saying, Shakur was on his best behavior. Just like he was with Oshaki when they shared the same division. Nobody points that out. Just like Josh Warrington when they shared the same division and he found on the way out of that fight. This nigga been doing this for years, and I'm ashamed to say that I used to defend this nigga. But I'm at a catch-22 because Gary Antoine Russell came out and said that he's basically saying, man, my goal is to have undisputed. And he kept alluding to the fact that I guess Teofimo Lopez is gonna, he's gonna crawl his little stinky ass over there to the IBF and try to fight for that. Okay, cool. I had been saying that because I didn't like Gary Antoine's energy when it came down to Teofimo, and he kept standing on the fact that they were friends and they was cool and all this. I was like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. Especially because that was around the time when Tio was saying all that racist shit, that we needed somebody to spank his ass. And I was saying, man, yeah, if he go up there and fight Boots, even though I didn't want that for Boots because he's an undersized guy fighting another 40 moving up, I didn't want to see that shit because I didn't want Boots to get another soft touch in the nigga that's moving up, right? So I didn't want to see that. But then I was saying, man, when it came down to Shakur, if you're gonna sick somebody on it, it's just like sicking Devin on somebody or sicking Shakur on somebody. Like if you don't know, you're a sick Brian Norman on somebody, you're a sick Gary Antoine on somebody. Like when you talking about dog, somebody where you want, you know what I'm saying, when somebody really get their ass beat, yeah, you're a sick Boots on an undersized nigga. If you want somebody to get hands and feet put on them, you're a sick certain type of niggas, certain type of styles on somebody. Shakur wasn't that guy. And we know that Teofimo Lopez was a roller coaster fight. You know what I'm saying? He's up and down. So I didn't want to see, like, what Shakur did. We can't say he's sick the moment he fenced. Tio didn't get past the front foot placement in the jab. I'm not going to go over that because that's like picking a scab. But it seems like Gary Antoine Russell has a certain level of respect. Now, he did make the little comment about how Shakur was being a fat boy and everybody used to get on him about eating, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, and weight because he was a fat boy. Don't take my word for it. Go back and look at Brian Custer. Salute to Brian Custer. That was the interview. But me and AC were talking about this in a couple episodes ago, and I was saying that, listen, man, I know the kind of individual that Gary Antoine is. He was raised right. His father did right with them brothers, man. It's no reason. It's reason why they call these guys to fight Russell and why they're as good as they are, because they was disciplined. I know he didn't. When they say spare the rod and spoil the child, he didn't spare the rod. He didn't spoil the child. You know what I'm saying? I know he was in there getting busy, tightening all their asses up because they got a level. It's almost like I see a lot of myself in that because my mom, she didn't spare the rod and spoil the child. Trust me. It was consequences and repercussions. So I know how he was brought up and the fact that he was a valedictorian, he's smart and all this. I'm like, okay, part of this is chess. And part of this is like you having class. And when he said that's beneath me, it's like I understand. But when me and AC was having this conversation the other day, I was saying, man, listen, man, in today's era, with the way how grimy they are, like whatever, because I look at it, this is the catch-22. Mr. Gary Russell, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? People try to say it was short man complex, this and that. Like, oh man, he's like one of them little chihuahuas and all that. You can say what you want, but motherfuckers was not fucking with Mr. Gary Russell. Go back and look at his highlight reel. He had a combination to where if you were not prepared for, even if you were prepared for that shit, he gonna do it over and over again. And you gotta be perfect every time he throw this combination or he's knocking you the fuck out. People don't realize that he could have beat Lomachenko had he not had to lose 5 pounds the night before, or the judge would have counted that knockdown. It could have been a draw, or Gary Russell could have got the decision. They didn't do that. Why? Because of another great white hype. So the fact that they shitted on Mr. Gary Russell, who was way more vocal, he was not respectful at all. Like if he was Mr. Gary Russell would let you know, I'll come over there and beat shit down your leg. Don't make me come over there. That was his thing. And so I'm like, okay, maybe Gary Antoine saw that and he was just like, I seen how that worked out for my brother. And they took that approach like he was so disrespectful. Because remember, Mr. Gary Russell had a picture of him putting his arm around Leo Santa Cruz's father, and that was his fight. Now Tank wound up getting that fight, but everybody knew that Leo Santa Cruz should have got that fight. But he had a picture, basically saying on some mob shit, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I got my arms, like, that's like you at work and a motherfucker send you a picture of him on, you know, pushing your son on the swing or letting your son or catching your son down the slide. It's like, hold on, nigga, what the fuck? That's how Mr. Gary Russell was. So I imagine Gary Antoine saw that. He said, listen, man, that approach didn't work for Gary Antoine. Right? And they denied him. He didn't get none of the fights that he should have got. Now, he was the longest reigning champion at 126 at 6 years, 352 days. But people, and they used to criticize him for fighting once a year. The same way they criticize him for Gary Antoine for being inactive now. But nobody want to fight this nigga. He fought Andy Hiroaka and everybody taking away from that. But I'm like, your favorite fighter won't fight Andy Hiroaka. Your favorite fighter gonna act like they don't know who the fuck he is. But they know the old man who got the privilege, where Rolly got the privilege of actually stopping him by Tony Weeks, courtesy of Tony Weeks. And we know that the old man was putting the Beats by Dre down on Rolly at the time. Andy Hiroaka, it didn't take no rep. Andy Hiroaka stopped his ass. He's a nightmare. And that's the meat and potatoes what we're gonna get into. But like, when it came down to Gary Antoine Russell, I was just like, man, I know in one interview he said that Shakur couldn't see him. And in this interview, I'm like, man, I don't want to start no shit. Trust me, because I'm with Gary Antoine. I say he's a top shotter, but I'm like, man, I'm divided. And I can say this because I don't represent none of the clan. You know what I'm saying? I don't represent that clan or whatever. I got mad love for them. They're from the DMV, mad respect, whatever. But like, I'm like, whenever it comes down to like saying what needs to be said, I feel like they be dropping the ball. And I gotta say this, y'all. I felt like it was selective energy because when O'Shaquie Foster came out, it was like a burst of energy, and it was like, don't make me, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, you want to jump down on O'Shaquie? I'm like, man, O'Shaquie in a race is just like you, bro. He trying to get to Shakur. He trying to get to the upper echelon just like you, bro. So for you to jump on him, I'm like, it just reminded me of our state symbol, man, which is the crab. I ain't even gonna lie, but I can't lie to you. I'm like Jim Carrey on Liar, Liar. The pen is blue. I can't lie. But I felt this weird energy where it's like, man, you had a lot of energy for O'Shaquie. I'm like, right now, O'Shaquie just got the raw deal, and you in the same situation where they're overlooking you for a totally different reason. So they overlooked your brother for being too disrespectful, and then they're looking over at you saying that you're too nice. And we just went through this when I was saying, man, you got to drag your nuts in this days and time, man. You gotta say something to me like, oh, okay, yeah, well, Gary Antoine Russell said he'll beat the shit out of you, Shakur. Not just try to take out or not try to shit on the guy that's chasing Shakur too. That's a Lamont Roach. And I hated it because all these niggas are from the DMV. And I felt the same way when it came down to Tank. Motherfucker was acting so respectful for Tio when he was saying everything under the sun, and you was like, oh, that's my brother, I gotta talk to him. And I'm like, well, hold on, man. Like, I gotta listen to what Mr. Gary wants to say about this, because I don't like what Gary Antoine is saying. And here we go again. I just went through this shit with Lamont Roach. Y'all want to, Tank gave Lamont Roach a shot. He's so disrespectful to Tank, but he's respectful to Shakur. Like, who the fuck is Shakur? I mean, unless it's just me, and it's just like, other than Tank, because Tank don't show no respect. I just did a video about how Tank wasn't showing this nigga no respect. He had this nigga get on the scale. He was telling this nigga, oh, I'm cool with you, and I ain't got nothing personal. Even though you done made it seem like you done came out with your shirt out and all this. Like, Tank is the only one that's being disrespectful to Shakur. And I'm like, why? Why? That's not gonna get you to fight, bro. I know they use that shit about Mr. Gary Russell being disrespectful, but I'll take that Mr. Gary Russell approach all day, every day, where it's like, man, listen, shawty, I'll come over there and beat the shit out you, and you already know that. Don't say my fucking name, don't disrespect me, don't blah blah blah. Other than playing the Mr. Nice Guy, why? Because they're gonna treat you. The media is gonna treat you like you Mr. Nice Guy, and you don't want it. If Dalton Smith got some shit going on with Playo, you need to be telling Shakur, I will beat the shit out of you right now. Period. Not trying to jump on Oshaki. For what? That's the Hollywood Roach shit. And I respect Gary Antoine way more than I respect Lamont Roach at this point in time, but I just don't understand it. And that's the housekeeper. What y'all got?
Bravo. Man, let us start. Guess we could start with Usyk. Like I don't know, man. Like even when, and I'm not that old, but I was on YouTube watching. Even when like the Klitschko brothers. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's their name. Yeah, even when they was boxing, like they said that was like the most boringest era, cause you know European style and all that. But it's like the same thing. Like the heavyweight division is like boxing. That's the pose. That's the heartbeat. Kind of like a compressor, right, Mike? Right? Ain't it a compressor? That's like the heart of the system, of the refrigeration cycle. You feel me? Like that's the heavyweight division. Like he in charge of it, and it's like it's bullshit, man. You could say, yeah, we know what's up with Wilder, but when he was running it, you had everybody eating. Everybody was watching boxing. You feel me? Like it's just not like Usyk. Yeah, he beat this guy, that guy. That just goes to show like that pound for pound stuff is like it's like fluff. Like it all just made up. Cause no matter who he beat, boxing don't go nowhere. You see how the New York Knicks got NBA lit? You know what I'm saying? Everybody NBA trending. Boxing ain't trending until Tank get on the burner account, bro. Like that's bullshit. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's like a burner account. Most of the time is not the real person, but it's the person. Like, he know who it is. Like Tank, you feel me? They running the account, and of course they talk back and forth. Like, it's no secret that that all the shit he's saying is been saying. Like when he knocked Shakur teeth out and all that shit been saying. So. Yeah, like the Usyk stuff, like I've been not sold on him. What's his name? Otama. He needs to be like more talked about, bro. Like, in my opinion, because the pound for pound shit is getting annoying. You got the ring. I remember you had different networks giving their different pound for pound. Now you see one. I'm like, bro, it's like mind control, bro. They trying to tell us what to watch and all that stuff. Whole time everybody is tuned in on Twitter. You feel me? They ain't watching no ring. They watching Twitter. They looking on Instagram and shit like that. Like that's boxing. But they don't know what they doing over there. You feel me? Like in my opinion, Usyk, the accolades he got, he supposed to be right up there with Anthony Joshua, who be getting his ass knocked out. But he's still not up there. Like, it's terrible, but and my man Gary, man, he be wanting to blast. He be wanting to see when you say valedictorian. Like I know, we are from like certain spots, but to me, and this I always said that, like Mr. Gary Russell. He was always too tough for me. Like I say this about a lot of DC guys. Like most of them I met cool, you feel me? But for the most part, they be too tough sometimes when it comes to us, cause Baltimore and DC. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Baltimore and DC got a little rivalry going on, and he always gave like too tough. You feel me? That's why I never liked him for real, cause where we come from, like you feel me, like they gonna try. Like DC guys gonna try.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it always gave like Gary Antoine, like he give like this, this hard up, outside appearance, but he seemed to me like a cool dude for real, like other than his brother. You get what I'm saying? Like he seemed like a cool dude, but you gotta do something to him. Like you gotta have if he needs something that you got, he gonna get it type shit. He ain't going, try to run you down. He going, you feel when he see you, it's on type shit. So when he like the interview he played last episode, he wanted to say Shakur's name so bad that the interviewer had to say it. You feel me? He wanted to full blast him more than anybody because he did it in the past when he was on PBC. He already did it. He already said, I don't want to pick. This was before he lost to he said, I don't pick easy fights like Shakur. You feel me? Like he was saying stuff like that, and even way before that, he's been saying stuff like that. Like it's been no secret, but it's almost like they got a gag order on him. Like whoever umbrella he under or whatever's going on, they got a gag order on him, and it's sad to see because like who the fuck want to see everybody be friendly? It's boxing, bro. Like why is you making these guys be nice? Like that's what I'm saying. They don't want to see the sport grow, bro. Like they don't want to see the sport grow at all. Like Wemby cried at the end when he won the Western Conference Finals, but at the end of the day, he was horned Chet Holmgren out the whole series. Like he was disrespecting that man, and he was acting like that ain't exist. Like they ain't had no problems, bro. Like Wemby was dunking on him and blocking his shit, making him sit in the corner, all that. Like it's you need storylines, bro. Like not that's my man. Clicking up this shit. Like that's not what he not that type of guy. Like he was raised around all grown men. You feel me? Like not no little friends. Like nah, bro. He probably was in there fighting for his life. Big brother. See, I'm the oldest of my siblings, but I used to do the same thing with my siblings. Like, hey, yo, we gotta get it in before we get it in our dad. You feel me? So he trained for it, but the media got gag orders on the real boxers. That's why they hate people like Earl and Tank and Charlo and all of them, because they don't have gag orders over there. Like they don't have them. Like it's certain things that certain boxers can say. Can't say this about Shakur because that make him look bad. When in reality, he the one that's saying this shit, so he making himself look bad. But you can't say it. You feel like it's just like it's. I don't know, man. Like that man sitting in that division all that time, and ain't nobody calling him out. They got the other belt, and it's been. Oh, go ahead.
So let me ask you this. My thing is this. They were saying that, like, a couple people, because I think Tank and them was saying that, Mr. Gary was too disrespectful and this and that. And I'm like, in one breath, I understood what they were saying, because they were saying, look, you down in 126, we at 135. At least get to the division. So it's like, okay, until you get to the division, they gotta, because they the man. So if they calling the shot, they saying at least get to the division. At least ultimately he went up to the division, but you can never point at Mr. Gary Russell and say that he was ever scared of Tank. Like he was always calling for it. So in this instance, it's like, yeah, you'll say he can't see me, but like in the end of the day, if they're gonna duck you because you're disrespectful, like the way Shakur did, or Shock's like, man, I ain't never fighting. Like he'll make up a reason, oh, he too disrespectful, he don't know how to go about getting the fight, or he don't blah blah blah. I'd rather history go down and say, listen, man, I always was asking for that smoke, as opposed to me being all diplomatic. And I know that it's because of his upbringing. And I side with him. He said, man, that shit is beneath me. I understand that. That's what I was saying the other day. I understand that it's beneath him to like be disrespectful and all that. But at the end of the day, we in an era where the fans be doing these niggas bidding for him. So the fans gonna come on here and be like, oh man, you hear Gary, he don't really want that Shakur fight. So as long as you got people out there saying that, it ain't gonna be no push to get the fight. You might want to tell them, hey, I'll beat shit down your leg when it come down. It's a reason why you ain't say my name. He ain't have to get disrespectful, but he could have said it's a reason why Shakur will never say my name. And then let people interpret it like that. But at least it'd have been some meat on the bone for because you can't deny that as a fan. You can't say, oh well, he being nice to Shakur. He's saying I'll fight Shakur last. And I had to come out and explain that. He's saying he'll fight Shakur last because Shakur don't want to fight him. So it's like I might as well go ahead and take the route to make the leverage like Errol Spence and Bud, because Bud had the benefit of the doubt. And this is what Shakur doing. He's getting the benefit of the doubt by saying, I'm that guy because I came up and knocked off Tio. Well, Tio wasn't the most dangerous guy in the division. It was Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Gary Antoine Russell Jr. Everybody knew that. But because you playing like, you're being diplomatic, and I understand because that's your upbringing and you don't have to do that. And yes, what I was saying to AC is that, yeah, it might age, like I said it to you too in that message I sent y'all. But it may age like fine wine, the fact that you're taking a high road. And yes, it may, because the kind of guy you are, that might work. But in the landscape of how boxing is right now with Twitter and how people move and how fans be pushing the envelope a little bit, it don't help you to do that, to get that fight. Because that's the fight. In your division, you and Shakur is the fight in your division. Like, if Shakur...
AC been saying that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, Gary, I understand that you're a classy guy. And I'm not instigating. You know what I'm saying? Because I fuck with the Russells a long way. But I'm just saying that in this climate, the way the fans are going to take it is like, look, man, you should have said something like, I can't tell you exactly what to say because you get hit in the head for a living. You're the one, you know what I'm saying, taking on the risk. It's your reputation on the line. I'm just saying, I saw how being disrespectful worked for Gary, for Mr. Gary, but they can never look at Mr. Gary and say he ducked Shakur or, he was avoiding, or they can't point to nothing to say that he was moving out of the way or being passive or nothing like that. They're going to look at you all day and say, yeah, you was too passive, man. You ain't really want that fight. Look at how he was talking. And I'm just saying, you should have said something more along the lines like, it's a reason why Shakur won't say my name. That's all I'm saying, man, because I was glad to hear Brian Custer, and it's ironic after I came on and did that PBC that they're doing these videos now or whatever. But, like, look at how it was working for Rolly. Rolly came out and took the high road. Rolly came out and did math. Like, social media, barbecuing Rolly and saying that, oh, yeah, man, it was no guarantee. Everybody and their mama know. Even AC as a Devin fan. He's not an only fan, but he's a fan. Even AC was like, man, this nigga Devin, I can't condone that shit. This nigga just ducked Rolly. So at least we got something to go by with Rolly where, yeah, he took the high road, but, like, we know that Rolly wanted that fight. To me, it was crazy to hear how he jumped down on O'Shaquie. I'm like, O'Shaquie? Well, nobody talking about Gary Antoine and O'Shaquie. Like, he would move up to 40 because he was pursuing Shakur, and now you came out and you doubled down. Like, your energy, that, like, if we have, you know how when they show, because I'm used to being in the studio and seeing volumes, and especially when I used to rap, when you recording, that spike, that energy level, that level that where you can see the volume jump up, that shit went up when it came down to him talking about O'Shaquie. Oh yeah, we was in, man, I got some stuff I'm like, hold on, bro. That's some Lamont Roach shit, bro. That's selective energy, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an advocate of the Rustlers. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Mike, real quick, before AC go. Yeah, that method never works, man. Like, even I could point out a couple instances, like, not to keep bringing them up, but with Tank said on the interview, he said, he was like, I don't ask for fights. You feel me? I don't ask for fights. I don't ask for Devin or Shakur and all of them. And, everybody took that interview and said, look, he don't ask for fights. He don't ask for the big fights. He don't. See, we trying to tell y'all he don't want the big fights because he don't ask. Bro, Floyd literally was keeping him away from Devin and Shakur the whole time. Like, it's not even, it's clear as day, bro. Like, them fights could have easily got made. Look how he getting the fights made with Frank Martin. He could have got the Kid Austin fight, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And other black fighters, like, you name them, like, them fights could have got made. You know what I'm saying? But you see how they did that? Another instance when the little fight, the 6-fight deal came up in the media. Everybody was saying, like, Eva Shakur, I'm gonna what number am I? Is I'm the last fight? What numbers I'm gonna fight? Bro, you could be the first fight, you could be the second fight, as long as when he send you the contract, like he's been doing all y'all, or send y'all or contact y'all people, you negotiate from there. But they want to keep acting like he don't hit him up. Now Devin hollering about, he hit my people up. We may actually fight, bro. He was doing that. Like, stop. They gotta stop that bluffing ass shit, man. And stop trying to look all big in front of the social media world, bro. Like, they'll do anything to not look dumb. Like, that man is a grown man. Y'all is grown men too. If the fight presents itself like y'all been asking, take the fight. What matter if you the last fight of the 6-fight deal or the first fight? And then what Shakur say? That's what I'm saying. He always contradicts himself. Like, he gonna say, all right, bad. T.O., Devin, then Tank. But why Tank last? You feel me? Why Tank can't be next? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why you ain't accept the deal? Why you ain't accept that deal, that 1-fight deal?
That's what I'm saying. Why you run? Tank had to chase his ass to the zone, bro. That's crazy. Ain't no running.
Why you ain't pursue him? Why you ain't pursue him like the way you did? Like you said, it was 2 years you've been pursuing Zepeda. I'm like, that's an anomaly to me. Like, I ain't never heard no champion pursuing no mandatory for 2 years. Like, you didn't even know what the standard of mandatory would be.
Me either. Oh, like, yeah, and another thing, Mike. This is why I love Twitter, because somebody always finds an old clip. I forgot when Keyshawn was running his mouth, and then on Top Rank, the little show they got Keyshawn like, yeah. So I've heard that Javante Davis actually did reach out to my team. He actually wants to fight, and he was being so respectful. You know what you say, the disrespect level.
Yeah.
It was gone. I'm like, dang, I forgot about that because it happened so fast and it was gone. And he was talking about, you've been tricking the basketball game with too long.
Tricking the game too long.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's so crazy how this shit happens so fast. People forget, like, bro, he can do the fuck he wants, but he can't because you got another side to it. You get what I'm saying? He can hit y'all up all day, but they got the machine, bro. They can make him look like he ain't even talk to him when he telling y'all. His fucking Steven Espinosa telling y'all. Leonard Ellerby been telling y'all. Like, bro, these guys do not want to really fight. They want to keep their own, fight the easy fight, and then maybe catch somebody on the back end. You know what I'm saying? They want them easy fights, bro. They don't want no goddamn Gary Russell. All of them been in that division, even Keyshawn. They don't want him, bro.
What you think, AC? What you got, man?
Well, this is where I am. For me, I just wanted to, before I get into that, I just wanted to spotlight one thing in traditional fashion of just saying, keep your eye on this space. For me, I found it ironically strange that after Collazo's win, impressive stoppage, all the announcers just started shitting on him. Like, oh, this was a cherry pick. Oh, this. And I'm like, okay, wait. How can you look at that where he clearly punched the dude 360 or 180 and made him, that took away. And then turn around and try to say the same guys were telling us how impressive Shakur Stevenson's victory was over Teofimo Lopez. The same exact dudes. But Collazo just was, you said he got all of this power. You said he's got an 80% knockout ratio. That means you carrying some sticks in them gloves. If you touch somebody, even if they out of shape, they are supposed to go down. You drop that man 3 times and you're not impressed with that, but you're impressed with Shakur Stevenson's victory over Teofimo Lopez? Yeah. Bro, I think that we may be looking at a hit on Puerto Rican fighters. Like, something about this is saying maybe we don't want the business of boxing to have a Puerto Rican face of boxing, because you listen to how some of the terms now, people are now like, now that it's fight week, it's all boots. It's basically Xander ain't got no chance, but just to try to survive as long as he can.
Yep.
It's been spoken over the last week on all the Puerto Rican channels and a lot of Latino channels that there's currently 6 Puerto Rican title holders. And within the 66 title holders, they're not getting the spotlight that they should. I don't know what it is with the business of boxing and stuff like that, but you know, in 1 minute you're telling us, yeah, is Collazo, you're talking to him like, are you looking to be the face of Puerto Rican boxing? And then the next minute you're telling us how huge of a cherry pick this was, and you're so disappointed in his performance. And I just found that like oddly strange. Like, you did that within the expanse of the show. Huh?
And this was a this was the replacement.
Yeah.
So he's not even getting the Josh Padley treatment, but it was so great because he got to stop it against Josh Padley. That's why I say, man, like, you got to be on it, like you are. Like, you see, you on it, but that was a late remainder play. That wasn't even the original guy. So, like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, now he's supposed to have been. He just chose that fight because he ducked somebody else, and I'm just like, okie dokie. Yeah, here we go again. I don't know who's down there, who's the big name, or who's the person that they trying to big up or protect or whatever. But I just don't get it. Now on to what you're saying in Tama versus Hrgovic. I think that's an excellent fight. This is gonna let us know kind of where really and Tama really is, because Hrgovic could do some shit that'll, you know, that will maybe expose some holes within Tama. You know what I'm saying? He may. But I have in Tama winning. I don't know how impressive he's gonna look in the fight, but I like this fight. I'm looking for Hrgovic to say, okay, if I screw up this Tama fight, I'm pretty much out of title contention. So Hrgovic I think is going to understand that the winner of this fight really is a solidified title contention. And then if there's anybody asking for title fights, then it's legitimized by this win. And I think this is one of those fights that do it for fighters. Although we may be arguing that the fighter may be ready like 3 fights ago or 2 fights ago or after the last fight, this is the official coronation, in my opinion. When you choose a person like Herkovich, even if it was a Dubois or something like that, you need these type of fights. And this is that fight for him. This is what we're also waiting for, not to give it away, but Mr. Mercado understands that he's still a couple away from this particular fight like this. You know, if he can get in there and get an impressive opponent, yeah, he may be there. But I'll save that for later on. But I'm impressed with this fight. Usyk, he's becoming a disappointment. The crazy thing for me was Usyk this is not the Usyk that I knew from cruiserweight. Cruiserweight, you couldn't mention this dude's name without him saying, all right, let's fight then. You mentioned me, let's fight. You know, he beat damn near anybody with a fucking name at cruiserweight. And a lot of those dudes he beat already, you know, after he beat them, they said, well, listen, there's no way I'm going to beat this dude again. So I'm not even trying to hang out in that division. I might as well go to heavyweight. And then you feel what I'm saying? So to watch him do this stuff right now, it's just like, yeah, you really know that your time is up in boxing and you just trying to just cash out. Fine, Usyk, I ain't got no problem. Ukraine may need your type of money. Maybe you'll do some shit like Manny Pacquiao or other fighters, you know, who became presidents and other shit like that. You know, and I think that's, you know, politically, you may be looking for the bag like that and then try to do some shit like that. And I think they'll respect you even more because you'll knock a nigga the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody gonna talk shit to you like that. And once they see you, it is what it is. But it's a little disappointing of watching how he's ending his career when by the eye test, it still looks like you're a viable champ. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to go out the way, you know, you're going to go out. And I think this is, we're looking at Usyk's exit plan, you know, or exit strategy and stuff like that. And, you know, he's sitting down talking to the shareholders and everything that's involved in the Usyk brand. And they're figuring out his buyout and everything. And, you know, long as nothing violates his bylaws or whatever, the dude gonna be all right. But to Gary Antoine Russell, it's a little disappointment in watching him put himself in that position to be that shield. Like I text you before, let that beef between O'Shaq and Shakur, let that be them. They don't need you in there. We don't need another Raymond Ford. We don't need none of that. You feel what I'm saying? He doesn't need you to co-sign for that and anything, because at the end of the day, the truth will come out, and it would be kind of fucked up if the video actually comes out and we see something else like, yeah, I don't know why you did that, bro, because the video clearly shows that he put hands on him, and both of them already admitted to one session of where O'Shaq was doing this thing. So it's the second or whatever other session that may be in question or whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, the way I feel, I'm on board with you, to whereas I would be yelling at Shakur like, listen, and I'm not being disrespectful. Why the fuck is you looking at Devin Haney when I'm right here? What sense does that make? I mean, here's a bag right here. We gonna sell this fight, and it's a unification. You know what I'm saying? You beat me. You really, really, really solidify yourself as one of them. So why don't you come bet on yourself and come fight me? I'm your best option. I used to see fighters do that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Where it seemed like a guy is doing everything to avoid the to avoid the challenger, the young hungry challenger. Ali semi did that with not Foreman. Was it Sonny Liston? No. Yeah, I think it was Sonny Liston. Whoever he was calling a bear or grizzly bear or whatever. And I think that was Sonny Liston. He was kind of telling him, look, bro, I'm the next best thing for you. There's nothing really out there until you beat me. You beat me, then yeah, you great. And that was the young fighter telling the veteran champ, you beat me, then you great. And that's how you got to do it, bro. It's like, look, Shakur, you ain't get no greatness until you beat me. Everybody already know what I'm made of. I done beat like he just said, he sold his own oats. You said you beat most of these guys in the amateurs. That's the Terrence Crawfords, that's Big Bro, that's everybody, that he beat, that he got on his resume. So you don't have to do that. You could stand on right there. You don't have to be disrespectful. Yeah, you already know everybody I beat. You already know who I beat in the amateurs and kept them from where we went to. And you see the greatness they rose to. So you don't get greatness until you fight me. That's where your real greatness lies. Because I ain't want that smoke with my brother, but I'm here. And we in the same division right now. What's really good? There's nothing disrespectful about that. That's how a champ addresses another champ. And if the goofy fan, he's a champ addressing another champ. O'Shaquie Foster was a champ addressing another champ. He never said nothing disrespectful to Shakur Stevenson. He put the offer out there and he was like, and he said it respectfully. Then your man said he ain't got no integrity. Like, what the So I'm at the end of the day, for me, Gary Russell, where you're kind of killing me right now is the fact that your deep fans and your fans and some of the people that are trying to be your fans, we just want you don't have to be disrespectful if you go, drag your nuts on somebody. Mark Breland never cut the back of Jordan's head when he went for that slam. I mean, not Mark Breland, Mark, whatever his name was from the Knicks. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't grab Jordan's head. Like, He just was like, here, smell this shit, nigga, while I do this to you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bro, you can do a lot of things and not be disrespectful. You're a champ, he's a champ. If that champion has thin ass skin like that he's a paper doll, he's one of them Chinese or Japanese paper dolls and stuff like that we used to see in a Kung Fu movie where White Lotus had to do it because the nigga just floats back because he's so thin. There's nothing holding that dude there. You feel what I'm saying? There's a style to beat him, bro. And you got that style. But if you're gonna be nice, you ain't never gonna get that fight. It's not gonna happen for you, my guy. Because there's an old saying in business. And it's just not in life. It's in business where it really, really, really matters. Because sometimes in life, the nice guy does win. But in business, the nice guy always finishes last. Because in business, it's cutthroat. When you're in the entertainment business, it's even more cutthroat. And in the boxing entertainment business, bro, everybody don't make it. Every path ain't for everybody. Shakur just inherited a whole bunch of shit. And here's the crazy part. If I'm sitting there talking to Shakur and Shakur try to talk to me crazy, I'm gonna be like, bro, you a little bro. That's your ceiling right now. Little bro. Was Bud a little bro to who? Who was Terrence Crawford little bro to? Who was Andre Ward little bro to? Who was Ray Leonard little bro to? Muhammad Ali little bro to? Floyd Mayweather little bro to? Oscar De La Hoya little bro to? Shane Mosley little bro to?
Yeah, Roy, Tony.
Yeah, how you gonna be on boxing Mount Rushmore when you a little bro? None of the greats that are on there was little bro to nobody. Scary ass
And
nigga.
they say closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Nice guys finish last, and closed mouths don't get fed. Like,
That's
you
why
know,
I
because
let.
people react how Rolly got, like, part of how Rolly got there was by saying, "Oh, I'll beat the shit out of Tank." Like, yeah, everybody say that, but like at this era where it's like, I'm gonna continue saying this. I know more people that Shakur Stevenson will not fight than what he will. You don't want to be in the one where it's like they can discount you and you can allow him to be another bodyguard for what he got going on by saying, "Oh yeah, man, Oshaki, no." It's like that shit came out of nowhere for me, and I'm like, man, that's not the right direction to me, and that's not the right message. And the fact that a belt went vacant because Richards and Hitchens left, so T.O. got to go for that. You're saying Shakur can't see me, right? But at the same time, there is no pressure for him to come to you. Because they're like, when did he say your name? He didn't even want to fight Suburban Matias, but he wanted to spar him, and I pointed that out in real time. And then Dalton Smith is like, you keep gunning for this. Dalton Smith is like, because of Playo. I think, man, if you beat the shit out of this is my wish. This is my wish as a Gary Antoine, as a Russell family fan. You beat the shit out of Pitbull. You be the first nigga to stop, like, to really park Pitbull ass, and then you get out there and say, "This is the reason why." You see what I did to Pitbull. This is why Shakur Stevenson has never said my name. Point blank. Period. I want undisputed. You got a belt, champ. And leave it at that. You ain't gotta be disrespectful, but closed mouths ain't gonna get fed, man. And it's not doing nothing because Core got comp blanche.
Yo, you use the same words. You told Dev to drop that belt so he can fight you. I'm telling you, fight me or drop your belt. Oh. That's all you gotta do. Then now you're another person who just came with like 6 dump trucks worth of dirt and just dropped that shit on Shakur. Like, this dude is getting buried right now, and all you gotta do, hopefully you get that Pitbull fight, that fight happens. If Shakur's still running around talking about Dev got to drop his belt, but he get to keep his belt, but Shakur get to keep his belt at 140. Like, yo, who the fuck are you to be like? When did Shakur become the how do I say this? The Shakur Don. You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling boxers what belt to pick up and what belt to drop in order to make a fight with you. First, it's Ray Ford. Now, here's the crazy part. Devin, you stupid as hell if you continue with this. Because he told Ray Ford and Oshak, if y'all two fight, then I'll give him a shot. Now he's telling you to drop his belt. Drop your belt. And he'll fight you. Bro, look at what he just did. Like, less than 6 months ago. Less than 3 months ago, my nigga. No. I'm not fucking with that dude. I'm not new.
That's what I was. If I was Devin and him, that's what I've been trying to say. I'm like, man, Devin. And I'm not the biggest Devin fan in the world. I'm not really quote unquote a fan, but I respect Devin. And like, in this situation, in this whole Keyshawn Shakur situation, I'm riding with Dev. I mean, I have to by default. It's like, no, man, Shakur has been exposed, man. I mean, it's a sad reality. There's a lot of people out here that love Shakur and whatever, but this nigga has been exposed, bro. He is not one of them ones. He is not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he don't need no help, Gary Antoine. He don't need no help. You know what I'm saying? Lamont helping him. You know,
they don't need no help.
Like, Hitchens helping him, Ray helping him, Keyshawn is BFF. This nigga don't need no more help, bro. He don't need no more help, man, and it's fucking up boxing. So, but that was the housekeeping, man. That was the housekeeping. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, if y'all ready. Only thing I wanted to say was, Will we ever get Usyk and Cowboy? Because it's like, man, if he gonna say he ain't gonna fight Itama, but we don't get a Usyk and a Cowboy, I'm
Nah,
not even gonna talk about this nigga no more.
nah, I don't think so, bro. I think Usyk gonna end his career off with Wilder, and that's a wrap. And
Yes,
that's-
God.
you know that's it. He already fought Fury. He already fought AJ. All you need is Wilder, and you good money.
That's some BS, man. Usyk is a great right hype to me. I don't care. I'm not gonna shit on his accomplishments. And people say, "Oh yeah, you say that sitting on the couch." Yep, I'm saying that sitting right on my motherfucking couch with a TV. Then I can go grab a TV. I go buy a TV then and put it in the microwave. That make you feel better. It don't got shit to do with what this nigga Usyk is doing. What I'm doing ain't got shit to do with this nigga Usyk doing. Like, you ain't gonna gaslight me, man. This nigga Usyk is pussy, and he's showing it, man. He's showing it, man. And I'm not taking away from his skills and all that, but like, man, it's just the state of boxing. It's just the state of boxing, man. Like, he get to be on everybody pound for pound, everybody rub his nuts and all this, but this nigga just ducked 2 young hungry lions, and he fought a kickboxer, and now he getting ready to duck Caballero, who's not a young hungry lion, but he's definitely more than formidable. And he got stopped by Dubois, and they let that shit go on to where he wound up stopping Dubois when that fight was really stopped by a body shot. Like, I can't make this up, man. And I don't condone Usyk, man. Like, let everybody grab his nuts, rub his nuts, hold his pockets, wash his laundry. Not me, man. Not me. But that's all I really wanted, man. As far as that. But as far as the meat and potatoes, let's get to the meat and potatoes. It's no secret to me that to anybody that's been watching the channel that this is my division. 140, and it kind of bled off into 147. And I was saying who is gonna grab 140 by like the collar and jack it up and say this shit is mine. And I put in a couple people that went on to go to 47 because, like always, just like now we're seeing people from welterweight go to 54 and kind of blur those lines. Between 135 and 147, those lines have always been blurred, but I settled in at 140 and saying this was my division and this was the who's who in that division. Now, Keyshawn, he's at 47. Blair, I seen Blair the other day. He was at one of them fights. Speedy Rashidi, he finally saying he's at 54, but he's still fighting with the Combat League. But right up under the who, it's a guy named Tito Mercado. We had Tiger Johnson over there on the left. We had that guy on the right, which was Nicholas Flaws. Tiger Johnson actually beat Nicholas Flaws. We seen Frank Martin. He signed paperwork. He's going to do something. I'm not sure what. Rohan Polanco, which is a guy on the bottom interior left side, right close to the symbol, the serpent symbol. That's Rohan Polanco. He's at 47. Liam Paro, he's getting ready to get it on with Crocker. And then we got De Los Santos. He's getting ready to rematch with El Rayo Valenzuela. So those are the who's who, and those are the ones that I said, not named champions, not the marquee names, but the guys who we really need to be thinking about. And Tito Mercado is actually, his name is actually really like flashing to me. So I had to do an episode about him and a guy that Gary Antoine Russell fought not too long ago, who everybody conveniently leaves out of the conversation when it comes to people at 140. Even Tim Bradley came out talking a whole lot of shit about Gary Antoine Russell and his performance against Andy Hiroaka. But what I found odd is how, in most cases, Like even on Pro Box. Let's just say somebody lose on Pro Box. On Pro Box, somebody lose, they'll come out and say, oh man, this is a guy that I really want to see. You know, this is a guy that I have, you know, I got a whole lot of hope for, and I really want to see him, and yeah, he'll be back or whatever. Even when he was shitting on Gary Antoine Russell and his efforts against Andy Hiroaka, which was stellar in my opinion, he showed everything you needed to show that, yeah, this is the time where when they be saying you haven't seen everything and we need to see this and all that, Andy Hiroaka coming over overseas, you know, jet lagged and going through whatever he was going through. He tested Gary Antoine. And Gary Antoine passed the test in flying colors, which what we want to see from our champions to defend his strap. What I found ironic was when Tim Bradley was shitting on Gary Antoine Russell, it never crossed his mind to see Hiroaka and Shakur. And nobody ever talks about Tito Mercado and Shakur, even though they all have experienced each other in the amateurs. Jermaine Ortiz, Tito Mercado, Morataya, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Richardson Hitchens. This guy been in the mix with them all. He's Nicaraguan, but he's still from California, right? He's still at 140. He's still in and around their weight class. And the thing about Tito Mercado is when it comes to the opponents that he's fighting, he's fought guys that shared the ring with Shakur, guys that shared the ring with Keyshawn, guys that shared the ring with Devin. His most recent opponent just did that. Juan Carlos Burgos, never been stopped. This man stopped him early. 3 rounds. Stopped him. Looked surgical. So one of the things that I always ask is that if you're gonna recycle opponents and y'all gonna pass everybody, you know, you're gonna pass one of these guys around like a can or a cheap slut, you set yourself apart by stopping them. A la Abdullah Mason and that one guy who went the distance with Rolly. In the very next fight, Abdullah Mason fought him and stopped him in about 5 rounds. I don't even know if it was 5 rounds. Might have been 4 rounds. That's what we asked for. But when I look at this, right, and I look at Tito Mercado, he was over there at Matchroom. He wasn't getting no play. Why? Because he was looking like he might ruin somebody's plan. So I'm saying that these 2 guys, outside of the champions, are the new boogeymen of 140. It used to be Gary Antoine Russell and Sabril Matias, but right now, at this present day and time, it's Tito Mercado and Andy Hiroaka. And AC has he has a little bit more of the history on Andy Hiroaka and some of the things that he was going by, because even though Jin Sasaki got stopped twice, there was some political stuff because Andy Hiroaka is mixed. And he knows information about what was going over there in the press and how they were actually discriminating against Andy Hiroaka and not giving him the push. Why? Because he's half black and half Japanese. And I was like, wow, you're going to get a star just because of that? Well, both of these guys, whether you have to see them at 40 or 47, because I think that if Andy Hiroaka, with his height and his reach, and being able to rehydrate, like, and actually have to cut, like, just to make 47 instead of 40, he is a nightmare for anybody at 47. A nightmare. Tito Mercado gonna be the same thing, only I don't want him to do the same thing like this guy right here. If you look at the bottom on the left side, the inner left, Rohan Polanco. Only reason why he went to 47 because he couldn't get no smoke at 40 because everybody was ducking and dodging. But those are the who's who at 40. I think that these 2 are the boogeyman. What you think, AC?
Well, basically, I was just doing some last minute checkups on Andy Hiroaka. As far as I'm concerned, Tito is definitely a boogeyman, and you could say he's a boogeyman between the guys who haven't been been champion yet. Some the up and comers and stuff like that. So he's like within. For me, I look at him as within the younger generation of boxing. He's the dude that they're avoiding. For that intermediate guys who've been around a while, um, I would say Andy Hiroaka. Now, there's a caveat with Andy Hiroaka because he was in like the foreigner bubble, you know, like early Kovalev, like early Bivol, or early Baturviev and stuff like that. A lot of these guys were in these bubbles of where they were just fighting mainly in their own home country. They had a couple of breakout fights, some unusual stuff that happened, and heavy cross promotion fights was in these weird venues, but we got a legendary fight out of it, which then made a big guy and big fight like that. The fight that you can kind of say uh, put Andy Hiroaka out there for a lot of people was a fight that he had early on, and that was with Jin Sasaki, because Jin Sasaki was going to be like the next guy. He had the Japanese anime theme behind him. He came from a solid school. Um, he was cocky, brash, a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? And Andy was just constant. Like Andy at that point was and that's what I was looking at was basically his knockout ratio. He holds a 79% knockout ratio. You know, a lot of his fights are TKO stoppages, but you know that means he puts hands on you. He a finisher. You know, he's like, when I look at the knockout ratio, and you're coming across as a boxer, I call it your finishing ratio, because once you smell blood, you go in for the kill. And for guys who like boxing first, your knockout is the TKO. It's the technical knockout of the sweet science. So that's the way my mind processes that and stuff like that. So you know, for me, that fight was his breakout fight, but it had to age like a fine wine, because then when Jin was going to fight Brian Norman, people went back to go look at what was going on, and they were like, yo, he only lost to this dude Andy Hiroaka. Who is this guy? And then when you see Andy Hiroaka, you like, whoa. When I first was messing around in the Japanese boxing market, you know, Jin, some other guys, I'm brain farting on their names right now, Takama, and a couple of other dudes was like dudes that stood out for me. You know what I'm saying? And then I was going back and I was looking at Jin's, you know, highlight reel early on, and I was like, yo, he was stopped by that dude? Then I'm just Googling and checking out, oh, homeboy is half black, half Japanese. But when you look at who he beat over in Japan, like his victories aged like fine wine. Like all of those dudes went on to do something and be stuff. But Hiroaka doesn't get to play, and it's like, why? Then I find out, you know, through watching other people and them dropping content, that, you know, within that community, the big money only wants to spend it on Japanese boxing. And if you're mixed, it's not going to happen for you. They just want to promote Japanese boxing. Mr. Honda and all of them dudes that people talk about, so whatever, they only want to deal with pure Japanese. Do you have a Japanese mother and father? Are you good? We will put money in you. Because Hiroaka never been down. You feel what I'm saying? Hardly been in a fight where he was rocked like that. But he's never been down. But yet you look at some of the other fighters who they're still willing to put money in. Been knocked out, been knocked down several different times, but they keep getting the opportunities. So at the end of the day, hopefully he's got it. I just was also Googling. He's still at 140. In some sanctioning bodies, it trips me out to look where they have him placed. I think he should be top 5 in every sanctioning body, but only one has him at top 5. Everybody else has him, basically top 10. But I think he's a top 5. He should be a top 5 ranked guy, really within the top 3 at 140. Based on what he does, but we don't know him in this country. Maybe the business of Japanese boxing don't want to put those type of investments in him. It's good to see he's ranked across the board, but he's it's not impressive rankings. It makes it seem that as though lesser quality fighters who've been stopped are ranked higher than him. And as a boxing fan, you just like, I don't know why. With the way you got him ranked tells me y'all not looking to keep this dude busy. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that's not the case with this guy. I hope, people go back and revisit, let's say Gary goes in with the Pitbull Cruz fight. I would like that fight for this particular reason. It's going to show a dogness, and they're going to talk about Andy Hiroaka. And the highlights are going to be what Gary Antoine was doing and that body attack, and those body attack from Andy Hiroaka. And people will get that in their mind again and be like, you know what? Let me see what's really good with this dude. Because, I saw that fight, and I was like, wow, who the fuck is this dude? Now I'm going to really look at this dude. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the buzz in boxing, just within the YouTube streets, I have people like, we need to really be talking about this Hiroaka cat. Because we would want to see him. Like, if a person asked me, all right, AC, you so into Andy Hiroaka, how would you feel if there was an Andy Hiroaka and Tito Mercado fight? I'd say, honestly, bro, I'd hate to say this, but I gotta go with Hiroaka. I don't think Tito Mercado he's a dog, but I think that's just too much of a step up for him right now. And he's a different math equation. He knows how to do a lot of things. He is defensively responsible. He does carry a bit more genetic power than your traditional Japanese fighter. When you look at his record, he's 80% stoppage rate. You don't get in there and fuck around with Andy Hiroaka. You got to be on your best of the best. Now tell me, 3-4 fights right now, if they still moving Andy the way they moving, I'd say it's probably a 50-50 fight. Yeah. But I just don't see a world, where Tito wins that fight. I don't see a world where, when I'm looking at the rankings, everybody that's above Andy Hiroaka, excluding the champion, I don't see none of those guys beating him. And just to give an example, let me go right here. Right, they got him. I'm gonna do one that's a little bit shorter. All right, let's say for the IBF, they got him sitting at number 8. Let me tell you who's above him right now, and this is why I was saying what I was saying. Above him right now is Sabril Matias. Above Sabril is Tito Mercado. Above Tito Mercado, Gabriel Valenzuela. Above him, Adam Azim. Above him, Arthur. I don't know this. I don't want to screw up this guy. Baivi. I don't even want to screw up this guy's name.
Know who that is?
Yeah. Number 2 is vacant, and then Lindolfo Delgado. Against Andy Hiroaka, I see Andy Hiroaka beating all of these guys.
Yeah, Tito will be the only question mark, depending on how Tito comes. But I see him washing all of those guys. I don't know one of them guys as a disclaimer, but I see him washing all of those guys. Like he'll beat the shit out of Saburo. Saburo get hit. He get hit by Andy Hiroaka. You think Dalton Smith did what he did? He get hit with Andy Hiroaka. It's over.
And that's the point I'm making. And when you look at the, no matter what you look at, a lot of these guys repeat themselves in different slots and stuff like that. But it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same scenario. Take get a more experienced Tito Mercado. You got a fight that's like, hey, that we could talk about that one. You know what I'm saying? But as it stands right now, in any division who's above Andy Hiroaka, he pretty much beats you, if not stops you or washes you. And that's an issue. He's the real, like, legit boogeyman. Right behind him, you got Tito Mercado, who's confident, strong, fast, twitchy, coming into his own. He's a young fighter who understands, yeah, between these young niggas, I'm the boogeyman. But I'm smart enough to know, in order for me to get to an Andy Hiroaka level to where I can fight for a championship or get to a championship, I'm probably 2 to 3 fights out, depending on who my opponent is. That's why he's smart in calling out, the Frank Martins and stuff like that, guys who have already fought for a belt. Whether they caught a draw or whether they were stopped or whatever, you have that championship level experience. If I beat 2 of you, I should be put there. Then I get my basically, Intama versus Herkovich style fight. That everybody says, yeah, he just beat this guy, he just beat Herkovich. Yeah, I think he's ready to test himself to one of the belts.
What you think will happen between Tito and Frank Martin right now?
I got Tito. I think Frank is going to look very, very impressive early on. Frank may be leading the fight, early on. I'd probably give the first 5 rounds to Frank Martin, or 4.5 rounds to Frank Martin. I think Tito has the capability to make the adjustments and stuff like that. And he has that kind of punch power that even if he's caught in a high guard and he winds up punching with Frank Martin, he can stinky leg him. And beating up Tito stinky legs you, I think he's not looking to let you get out of that round, even if it's 20 seconds left on the clock. So I just think he has a finisher's attitude and he's growing into a finisher's type of fighting style, to whereas I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna do my thing, but you let me, start ripping 3 and 4 punch combos on you, I'm just gonna start to look to finish you, because you can't stop my combination. So why am I gonna have you stand in front of me for 12 rounds? And that to me is, once he really gets there, he gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight these guys, man. I wanted to bring what you brought out was the politics behind Andy Hiroaka and Jin Sasaki. They will push Jin Sasaki, who's been stopped twice, but because Andy Hiroaka, he has 1 loss, but because he's mixed, they're not going to push him, and that's wild. Because he stopped old man Barroso, the guy who Tony Weeks came in and did that unjustified stoppage with Rowley, and everybody was contesting it. After we saw it, he stopped him. There was no question. He straight up just stopped him. You know what I'm saying? So he put on a great fight coming off a jet lag and everything, and Gary Antoine, since he don't get the credit he deserves, being a technician and a brawler, he can do it all. Giving Gary Antoine a more than formidable fight. I just wanted to highlight these guys and say that, man, these two guys, um, whether you see him at 40 or 47, I think Hiroaka can go to 47 right now and take over.
Yeah.
Like where he go up there and he makes some noise. I think Devin gonna go up to 54. Whether he'll fight, Xander or Boots right away or whatever happened, I think that he'll push whoever's up at 47 up out of the way. And I'm not seeing nobody at 47 right now that would give him problems. I barely see anybody at 40 that would give him problems outside of the champions. I think that maybe a dark horse might be Alberto Puello, because I'm high on Alberto Puello. I like Gary Antoine because Gary Antoine showed that he has sophistication. There's an IQ. Tito it'll just be a point in time where Tito just has to show that, okay, cool, I have the IQ or whatever. But physically, ain't nobody seeing these two guys. So I wanted to come on and highlight them since this is my division, and it's almost like my division is falling by the wayside since everybody wants to keep tiptoeing up past this division and not fighting the who's who in that division. That's all that really was, man. So
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna harp on that. I knew this wasn't gonna be a popular one because we're off the beaten path with this. But these are two guys. If you're listening and you catch this on the playback, you really need to get in tune with these guys. That's all I had.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much in the same boat, because when you look at, you take the same division, the IBF, and you look at where Tito is, and you look at the names above him, he washes those three guys above him. I think he stops Adam Azim. It's an easy fight for him. You feel what I'm saying? It's maybe a little early, Adam, like the first 2 rounds. I think Adam Azim might look impressive and stuff like that, but Tito's gonna catch that timing, and that's a wrap. It's just a matter of time. So when for me, just looking at both of these guys, I'm a huge fan of both of them. I like their fighting styles. To me, I think they're both extremely fan friendly fighting styles and boxing styles and stuff like that, because they look to finish. They're not looking to have glorified sparring matches and play it safe and say, you know what, I just didn't want to get caught with anything stupid. Well, if you're defensively responsible in your offense, then you don't get caught with nothing stupid. So, just with that being said, man, these are two guys for me at 140 that really stand out as far as just talent that's overlooked. Everybody knows about him. Everybody's aware of it. But it's still overlooked. Like oxygen, you need it to breathe. It's there. Without it, you're not gonna be here. But you take it for granted that it's there. And I think moving forward, these guys may be in conversations for when it's convenient, an argument of conveniency, and stuff like that. But I just hope within that argument and within the playback game, people don't try to just say, yeah, that's a whatever, but why don't we try to talk about that fight to derail these two guys from actually reaching their potential? Because for me, I would love to see Tito fight Gary Antoine. Either Frank Martin, or like you brought out earlier, if he did the crazy stuff and went after Anir Albright. Frank Martin or Albright, that's your play. You know what I'm saying? Andy Hiroaka, your fight is either Adam Azim, Duarte, uh, or Sandor Martin.
Yeah. And I'm still the verdict still out for me with me and Adam Azim. Cause I thought that Kurt Scobie, it looked suspect, even though I wasn't high on Kurt Scobie anyway. But like
Yeah,
I'm still I like Adam Azim. He looked crispy.
yeah,
But I gotta see him in there with somebody. I gotta see him in there with one of the who's who. I would love to see Tito and Adam Azim. But I think that Tito, if he really want to make a statement, if I would get my agent on the phone and say, listen, man, I know Anaya Albright, he ain't, the who's who, but I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all what I'll do against Naya Albright and then spark him. But if he can get Frank Martin, what Frank Martin could impress us and what I'm saying, do what he do. If he get a Frank Martin or a Naya Albright, I think he'll be set, depending on what he do with them and the outcome.
yeah.
Um
And that's where I was
Hiroaka,
playing, bro. But go ahead.
but Hiroaka, he's a free agent, man. We gotta put out positive vibes, man, and hope that boxers like that don't go by the wayside because he'll be the one of the biggest names that will be like, man, what if? And I don't want to what if with him. I think that Hiroaka, you gotta kind of get, if it's gonna be along the lines of the PBC, he gotta try to get a rematch. Or he gotta try to get a rematch with Gary Antoine, but before he get the rematch, he want to grab somebody and make an example. Like, I know this wouldn't happen, but if he was able to get a Lamont Roach and then show what he could do against a Lamont Roach and let Tito get another Albright and then boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, those would be statements because right now they're in a position to where there's such tough outs to where people are like, who is he? It's like, well, Gary already beat him. Like since he already lost his O, and it's gonna be convenient for the who's who to dodge him. That's where they're at right now. So it'll take for the fans to get behind these guys and speak up these guys and try to fantasy match make these guys in order for us to see them again. And that's all I got.
Yeah. Great cook though, bro. On to the next one.
I appreciate you, AC, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy your evening, brother.
You too, man. Salute to you too, AJ.
Hey man, another great show, man. It's not too often where in the midst of things you can still get good fights getting announced or even even talked about because boxing been dead for a long time, but man, I actually like Frank Martin versus Mercado actually.
Against who?
I actually like that fight.
Mercado? Yeah.
Not because, I think he's going to knock him out easily, but, just give him a little bit of a, challenge. Frank Martin seems to be turning into a gatekeeper these days. If the verdict not too early to call him that, but that's what it's given since he's been tucked by a tank. But other than that, man, great show. On to the next. All I gotta say is, man, keep doing your thing, Bodywork, man. This shit don't stop. The real always prevail, man. And you keep it real through the thick of it, no matter what. The same as day one as you is day two. You feel me? You're not like fake phony boxing analysts like Greg Hackett. You keep it real, man. Like, I always get a good feeling about people I counter. You know what I'm saying? You always been a real one since day one. And,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. On to the next one, bro.
All right, man.
Salute
Enjoy your
to the
evening,
chat,
man.
too.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Salute. Well, We got another good one in the books, man. I wanted to put out something, man, because those are two of my guys. Well, like I said before, 140 is my division. I think it's the most competitive division in boxing, and you can get all hype because there's big fights in other divisions, and you know it's a couple big fights right now up at 154, which is the second division. But my claim to fame is that if these guys at 140 were to mix it up, and if you look at the track record, the history, look at Keyshawn's actions going up, sneaking, tiptoeing past 140. He had 2 fights. Devin Haney sneaking, tiptoeing past 140. It's a lot of guys that, like, look at Shakur's actions. Shakur got T.O. and he ain't mentioned nobody at 140. I wonder why. The 140 is one of the most dangerous, is the most dangerous division in boxing right now. I'll go head up. We can have a debate. People can say, oh, it's 154. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can go up there and spark a guy like Lima, and people will say, oh, yeah, right now, you're the best guy at the division. It's like you didn't do shit at the division. But Gary Antoine can take a loss to somebody like Alberto Puello, who Devin didn't want to fight, right? Who Alberto Puello arguably lost to Sandor Martin, right? But when it came down to Devin fighting Sandor Martin, it went to purse bid, and nobody pressed for it. Nobody wanted that fight. Why? Because Sandor Martin can box. Alberto Puello arguably beat Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias lost to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton just came on the scene. Gary Antoine been through the ringer. Richardson Hitchens did what he did at 140 under the IBF rehydration clause. Those were the 2 most tenured. But it was accolade salad, accolade soup for Shakur to jump up and get a T.O., who he was bigger than for 2 years, a roller coaster ride, mental health, all of those good things. Even Ryan, look at what he did with Duarte. Richardson Hitchens just ducked Duarte. Duarte put hands and feet on Kenny Sims. Honor Barbosa put hands and feet on Kenny Sims, and Teofimo Lopez put hands and feet on Barbosa. But a Barbosa or Catterall right now at 47 is probably who Devin Haney going to fight next, in my opinion. And that's at 47. But notice how nobody ever wanted no real smoke at 140. Why? Because it's the most dangerous division in boxing right now. Let's debate if you don't agree. And I always say, stop me if I'm lying. But it's nothing but the truth. We got another good one in the books. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing. Hopefully you was able to, put something in your rucksack, man. Take it on to your next boxing conversation. We always say, go where everybody knows your name, and they always glad you came, and they always sing your prayers, and then you come over here to Bodywork and see what we got to say. You won't be disappointed. We don't do sensationalism. Why? Because we start with inside the ring, and we go outside the ring as necessary. But y'all know I could talk this boxing talk all day and all night. Want to come out here and put something on your mind. Salute to Tito Mercado, Frank Martin, Andy Hiroaka. Those are just a couple of guys. I told y'all the who's of 140. 140 going up to 147. And by golly, since this was almost a year ago when I put this up, it looked like your boy be knowing a little something about boxing. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.